all I can tell them is to live the way they want to, do what they want to.
This is Arlene Watkins, a volunteer for the Kizuna Project. It is July 26, 2025, and I am in Tucson, Arizona with Miyoko Marian Matsunaga. Marian, do I have permission to record you? May I have permission
yes.
to record you? Thank you. I'd like to start with a few questions for the record.
All right.
When and where were you born?
In Hawaii, Marconi, Hawaii.
What year were you born?
1926.
So that makes you 99 years young.
That's right.
Oh, congratulations. I'd like to start by hearing a little bit about your parents. What was your father's name?
Nisaku.
Where was he from?
Kumamoto, Japan.
And what did he do for a living in Hawaii?
He worked for RCA. He told me he was a lineman. Actually, there were no poles to climb. But he just never told me exactly what he did. And my dad spoke perfect English, but I never knew until way later because he never spoke English to us.
Oh, and you said that in addition to working for RCA, he was also a cook and a caterer on the side. He would cook large meals for parties.
Yes, he was a good cook, and he cooked for parties, for different parties.
What did he make?
He cooked everything. He would cook a fish and bend it over, and a daikon, the long one, he would cut that into a net and put it over the fish.
Now you said he spoke English, but he must have only spoken Japanese at home, or did he speak Pidgin at home?
No, he never spoke English at home.
But he spoke Japanese.
Japanese, it was all Japanese.
And where was your mother from? What was your mother's name?
My mother's name was Mie Hagiwara, and she married my dad. Her parents brought her to Hawaii, and they got married.
Why did her parents bring her to Hawaii?
So that they can get married.
Oh, so
they arranged it in Japan, I guess.
Ah, so she never met your father until she came to Hawaii.
Right.
And what language did she speak at home?
She spoke only Japanese and Pidgin English because she dealt with Filipino people selling vegetables.
Yeah, you mentioned that your parents also sold vegetables on the side. That they grew vegetables and then you would sell the vegetables. Can you tell me about that?
Actually, there was someone from Honolulu who came to pick it up. So she sold it to them, but they bought it really cheap, because farmers. One time my dad told me, "Come with me," so I went with him to the garden, and he just plowed the tomatoes, and he said it's not worth picking the tomatoes for a cent a pound.
And then how many children did your parents have?
8. 2 boys and 6 girls.
So let's move on to your life. Okay, you said you were growing up, you attended an English school and a Japanese school.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, before the war, we had to attend Japanese school after the English school. But when the war came, the Japanese schools closed, so we went only to English school.
And you had said there during the war you also had to take time off from your English school to work in the fields.
Right.
Can you tell me about that, please?
Yeah. We went to school about 4 days, and the 5th and 6th days we worked out in the pineapple and sugarcane fields.
And why was that?
And when?
Why? Why did the children have to work in the fields?
Because the men went in the service. There weren't enough men to work in the fields. So as kids, I was a senior at that time, had to go to work.
What kind of fields were they? What did they grow?
Sugarcane and pineapple.
Was it hard work?
Oh yes. The pineapple leaves have thorns, like, so when we took off our clothes, we would have red spots on the arms and on the legs, because pineapple leaves have sharp thorns on it.
Sure. And the other crop was, did you say sugar beet?
Sugarcane field is with the hoe we get the weeds up.
And you said that during high school, you also did classical Japanese dancing.
Yes, I did Japanese dancing. I traveled with this band. There were about 5 people in the band, and we would, on weekends, we would go to theaters and to different places, and my other friend and I would wear kimonos and dance.
Where did you learn how to do that?
Oh, I just, my mom let me go to theaters. I traveled with this band, which was about 5 men, and we went to theaters and we went to different places to dance.
Were they older men? Did they take care of you, or were they boys like your age?
No, they were older.
So your mother trusted them?
Yeah.
You were in Japan then when Pearl Harbor was bombed. I mean, you were in Hawaii when Pearl Harbor was bombed. Do you remember hearing about it? How did you hear about it?
Well, we didn't have electricity, so we heard it from, we go to a store, which we have to travel quite far. So we didn't hear about it until a couple of days later.
And how did people react to that? How did people think? What did they think when that happened?
They didn't say too much about it, so I really can't remember them saying much of anything.
But you said your father did something.
My dad actually knew English. He spoke perfect English, which I didn't know. And so he knew what was going on, but he never discussed it with me, so I don't know.
But he did burn everything.
When the war first started, yes.
What did he burn?
Anything in Japanese, because we had books, magazines that they read, my mom and he read. I didn't look at it because I couldn't read it, so I can't tell you exactly what they were.
And why did he burn them?
My dad thought, I guess he thought it's better not to have anything Japanese.
I understand that you wrote letters to men who were in the military.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
They were in the 442nd, and I wrote my family friends kept on giving my address to these different ones. So there was one that I never met. Till today, I haven't met him. But he was from the States somewhere. He was Japanese. But I haven't met him. He did go over to my mom's place to meet me, but I was in California.
Why did your friends want you to write? Did they just wanted you to send letters to these people?
Well, I think they were family friends, and someone who didn't have anyone to write to, they gave my name so that somebody would write to them because they had no one else.
Mm. And you met your husband just before he left for the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. Did you write to him?
No. I did write to him. And when he came back, we got married.
So, can you tell me what your husband's name is?
Robert Yoshio Matsunaga. I Matsunaga also.
And what branch of the military was he in?
Service company for the 442nd.
Okay. Where was he stationed?
Italy and France.
So, did you hear much about the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
Not too much, because we didn't have electricity.
Uh-huh. How did people react when the war was over? When they realized the war was over and their young men would be coming back home to Hawaii, what was the general feeling and reaction?
Actually, we weren't involved, like I said. We lived out in the country. We didn't hear a lot about the war or anything, so it wasn't anything really different than what living every day.
But your husband, your future husband, did come back to
Yeah, he came back, and then we got married.
And where did you continue to live in Hawaii after you got married?
We went all over the place. We went to Guam. That's where she and her brother were born.
So why did you go to Guam?
For the job, for my husband's job. And I also worked for the Navy and for the Air Force.
So your husband was still in He was enlisted at the time.
No.
Oh, so what did he do in Guam?
He is a cabinet maker. So he kind of held on to that type of job and made furniture and whatever.
So when he returned to Hawaii, the two of you got married and you moved to Guam because you wanted to go to Guam, or was he still with the military when you went to Guam?
No, he was not in the military.
He just wanted to go there for work.
Yes.
And you also worked in Guam.
Yes.
What did you do?
I did office work. For the Navy, I worked in personnel, and my boss disappeared. He went out one day. He told me he's going out. He never came back. So I did all the personnel, people wanting to come back to the States to visit their family and stuff. I made the papers up. But actually we did not. It was really strange because it was the Navy. We didn't have any bosses. No one.
So you were running the show.
So I ran the personnel. The people wanted to come back to visit the families. I made the papers out. But we had no boss whatsoever. It was the strangest Navy, U.S. Navy that I've ever worked for.
And how long did you live in Guam?
10 years.
Then what?
Then Lori and her brother were born there, but they both ended up in the hospital. They had breathing problems. So I told my husband that I'm leaving. I'm not going to spend my time at the hospital with those two, you know. So I left and came up to the States.
And then he joined you or left with you, or?
Well, he was still on Guam. I was in California. Then I said, I'm not going back to Guam because my son and daughter were born there. They both ended up in the hospital twice.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'm not going to spend my time at the hospital every time because they were in the hospital twice and they were just young yet.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see spending all the time at the hospital, so I left.
And he joined you?
Yeah.
In California?
Didn't want to, but...
Why California? How did you pick California?
Well, because in Hawaii, it's hard to find jobs. So I decided that I would go to California and it would be easier for me to find a job. And I worked for the Metropolitan Water District for 26 years.
Did you already have family in California?
Yes, my sister, one of my sisters was already living in California.
So that's how you decided to go there. Mm-hmm. So I understand that after you retired, you moved to Washington.
State,
yeah, tell me about that. Why did you move?
Well, my husband liked to do fishing. So he built his own 17-foot boat in the garage. And we went fishing with that boat while we lived there.
How long did you live in Washington State?
Gosh, I can't remember how long, how many years I was there.
But quite a few years.
Yeah,
Did you like living there?
yeah. The weather was nice there.
So 99 years, you've lived a long life. Is
Yeah.
there anything, if you had to give your children one word of advice about life, what would it be?
Well, they live their own lives, and I want them to have good lives. So all I can tell them is to live the way they want to, do what they want to, and live as long as I am.
Well, Miriam, thank you for talking with us today. And this is the end of the interview.
Thank you.